So, Mass Effect, the board game, it has what everyone desires, what everyone covets in 2024. It's got pronouns. Now, you know what I find interesting about diversity and inclusivity? That if it is genuinely so coveted, if people want it so bad, why is it never behind a paywall? Because this is what companies do all the time, right? Like when they have a feature that everyone wants, they usually put it behind a paywall. But for some reason, if you look at the DLC for a lot of AAA video games like Call of Duty, it's usually the cool stuff like new weapon decals and flags that are put behind the paywall. But it's usually like the trans flag and the LGBT flag. Those are always free. I find that to be very interesting. But anyway, right. Liara Tassoni is now she, they. Which, again, I mean, it's part of the lore, right? Because Asaris have no gender, so why wouldn't they identify as they? Even though throughout the original series they present themselves as females, there's absolutely no point where any Asari feels uncomfortable with presenting themselves as female. In fact, they're very proud of their femininity. But the gender abolition movement is a push to actually remove femininity, both the personality of the traditional gender of feminine, as well as the word itself, like it's now body type A or B. I'm actually surprised they didn't nerf her appearance. There's no manly jawline to be found. She still has breasts, surprisingly, because usually leftists absolutely despise breasts. They even call it chest feeding. They don't like the word breast. But the question is, like, what goes hand in hand with pronouns? Do you guys know? Like after you see pronouns, what is the next thing that you're going to see? Well, let's see if your pattern recognition is up to date. Let's see if you have noticed a trend by now. Like, you see pronouns in a game. What does this tell us about the people making that game? If you answered censorship and being absolutely cheeky little shits to customers, you are absolutely correct, because this is what we notice. A person associated with the production is going to be as despicable and abhorrent as they possibly can to the customers. So they posted this. I hate even talking about this on social media, but if you played Mass Effect, the board game, would you mind giving it a rating on BGG to upset the fucking man babies?
Sheer fucking hubris.
Trying to tank the rating with ones because they can't handle looking at the pronouns. Look at it, you bigot. I put it in here for you. Look and despair. All right, so I think I need to explain why we can't handle looking at the pronouns. Are we like vampires that when they see the sign of the cross, we catch fire? No, it's not about that. It's about two reasons. Number one, the fact that you keep trying to force the market. Like, you're aware that this is something that's unpopular, and yet you do it anyway. So that tells me a lot about the mindset. That tells me a lot the type of individual you are when you realize that your customer doesn't like this, but not only do you push it in, then you start insulting the customer. So it's a matter of principle. It's a matter of representation. You see, when you're a dick to another customer, I feel represented. I identify with that customer. So when you're a dick to them, it's like you're a dick to me, and it's like you're a dick to my friends that may also be customers. So I don't like that shit, right? I don't like your behavior. Check your attitude. But the second reason is that pronouns are like crucifixes for the woke. What I mean by this is, like, when you see a Christian that has a crucifix around their neck, why do they have it? Because, like, nowhere in the Bible does it tell you that you have to wear a crucifix. There's no sacred text, no passage that expresses the fact that you need to wear a cross around your neck. So why do Christians do it? They do it to identify each other as Christians, right? To signal to the world that they are Christians. And it's a statement, right? It's a type of political statement. In this case, it would be a religious one. It's like, yes, I'm a Christian. You need to know, you need to understand that I'm a Christian. Pronouns are the same thing. At no point is there any academic paper that shows pronouns actually helps trans people. Like, I looked for it. I couldn't find it. Instead, what it is like on Tumblr, people thought that, oh, well, this is actually going to help trans people somehow. Like if everyone uses pronouns in the world, then trans people will pass easier. So if we put pronouns everywhere, if 99% of the population that doesn't use them will be forced to use them, it will actually make the 1% more comfortable. Like that is the whole thing. So the people that use pronouns are almost always part of the woke ideology. An ideology that is anti-capitalist, an ideology that segregates the world through the lens of race and believes some races are oppressors and other races are oppressed, doesn't judge people on an individual level or on their accomplishments. It only judges people based on their skin color. It believes that the nation state is inherently evil. It believes in defunding the police and increasing crime. It believes in taxing people more. It believes in restricting freedom and censorship. So my question as a right-winger, why should I support this ideology? That you want me to give you money for a product, and yet you support these things that I disagree with on a major platform. Like you're using this product of yours in order to support an ideology that I disagree with, and you're not interested in a debate. You're not interested in talking or engaging with people. You're interested in hurling insults and pretending that you're better than everyone. So again, my question is, why would any right-winger support your product when you're like that? I mean, the left wouldn't put up with it anyway, right? You're complaining that people are giving you negative reviews. The left did this for the Wizards game. The left did this to Chick-fil-A. So they normalized the process, where if a company is promoting values that go against your worldview, then you vote with your wallet, regardless how good the product is. I mean, the decision is simple. I can have a couple of hours of entertainment and at the same time support an ideology that wants to decrease my living standards. Why would I do that? Absolutely not. No. And people are realizing this, so they're like, okay. And the left would do the same. I mean, I gave this example before, but imagine if in Tomb Raider they would replace Lara Croft with Kevin Sorbo. So they gender swap her. And they have like a lore reason on why Kevin Sorbo is now in the game. Kevin Sorbo is a very Christian individual, believes in funding the police, believes in mass deportations, but he's a famous actor, and he's really good at it, right? Do you think the left would support that game? Do you think they would pay money? Do you not think they would boycott? Right, so like if one side of the political spectrum is using entertainment and video games in order to push their ideology, what's wrong if the other side does it? Like, you're normalizing the thing. And I don't see game developers condemning when the left does it. I didn't see the Hogwarts people condemning when leftists were harassing VTubers. In fact, what they did was to placate. They decided to add a character that was trans in the last moment. The voice actress themselves was a woman, but they modified the voice acting in order to make her sound more masculine, more androgynous. And when someone removed that mod, Nexus Mads banned it. And when it comes to pronouns, you know, they keep saying it doesn't matter, but like when you notice that the market is giving you backlash for it time and time again, and when you notice that Nexus Mods is banning mods that remove the pronouns, I think they matter. And maybe I'm just too dumb to understand. I mean, I'm not as educated as left-leaning people are. They're the smartest, you know, they go on Reddit, they share studies and statistics, and they talk to each other on a different level than my capability of understanding, but they think it matters. So if they think it matters, maybe it does. Maybe it does. And if it doesn't mean much, why have them in? Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.